Hi everyone, it's Tess from teachwithtess.com. So today, our first video in my series of teaching ESL online and top tips ranging from props to teaching phonics to teaching younger kids, etc. So this is the first one. Now, props is something that as an online teacher, you will use all the time. Now, it's quite interesting when you go into being, when you start teaching online, it can be a bit overwhelming and you think, oh, I need to have a million props and different things and exciting things and all the rest of it. And maybe you're right, but it's funny, isn't it? I've been teaching now about 3.5 months online, and really honestly, I've noticed that my props have come down to absolute favourites, and I use them again and again and again. I add new things in from time to time, but it's very often the same props. And I do this, one, because I know they work and how to use them, and secondly, my students get to know them and expect them and like them. So I thought what I would do today is just to go through my top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, top 10 props. So my number 10 prop, the one that I use and love, is this thing. Now, my number 10, my car. I went to New York a couple of years ago and I picked this up. Now, for some reason, this car is just an absolute favourite with some of the boys, and they love the snow. So I shake this up. I use this as a reward, or if we're talking about something that is relevant. My little car is number 10, and it comes out quite a lot. Now my number 9 prop is this. La la. Yes, I can sing. Well, I can't. But this is something, you know, if you're encouraging students to talk and you want them to ask questions, or if you do want them to sing, or if I'm going to sing, this is something that comes out a lot. So I can go, so John, what do you think about that? And then you put it over to them and they will speak to you. Or you can say something like, so I would like the best question you can think of. And off they go. And this is a really nice way of doing this movement and getting them to talk and come out with ideas. Now, my number 3. 3? No, number 8. My number 8 favourite prop is this thing. My globe. So it's quite interesting. My globe, I get out from time to time just to show them where they live in relation to where I live. See? So this is lovely. It just sort of gives space, and you can talk about different countries if it's relevant to your lesson. You know, for instance, I've just done one where we were talking about communities around the world. So we could choose a country and say, right, well, what do you know about communities in America, or what do you know about communities in India or in Africa or whatever. So the globe is great. I use that quite a lot, actually. Now, my number 7 prop, the other one. Now, this is just a giggle. This is my giggly prop. And when I teach quite a few young kids, so sort of 3, 4, 5-year-old children. And there are times, obviously, when they get distracted, they're not concentrating, and they just sort of, or they start crying, you know, and things like that. Now, if you do something that just changes, now you can call them into the classroom, but sometimes I just do this. Ha ha! So this is my Christmas pair of glasses, but actually this just makes them laugh. And so sometimes it's something as simple as that, just to distract them from whatever it is that they're worrying about. You do something ridiculous and it will bring them back on track like that. So yes, that's my number 7, my darling glasses. I actually have quite a few pairs of ridiculous glasses. I could show you another pair if I can find them. Here we go. This is the other pair that comes out, my ridiculous glasses. What do you think? They are my pineapples. So yeah, things that make kids laugh, focus, come back on track in case, you know, something's happened. Number 7. So my number 6 one are my endless supply of animals. Now, I'm going to be talking about cost because you might be going, oh my good grief, this is so expensive. But they're not. I went into a charity shop and I'd been scouting around for various different things I could use as props. And these case, it was so lucky. I came across this box of animals, farm animals, wild animals, with everything under the sun. And of course, this is just great because, you know, I have endless supplies. And there are many, many more where they came from. So endless supplies of animals. So again, really useful in a lot of the lessons that we cover where animals come in, or just as an extra to get them, you know, revising vocabulary or whatever. So they come out quite a lot. Now, I think I'm down to number 5. So my number 5 prop that I use all the time is, let me choose this one carefully, it's actually these two. So, my number 5 prop. Actually, this could almost be number 1. They are climbing up the ranks fairly fast, these two. So I've got boy, girl, I've got he, she, I've got lad, I've got, this is one of the younger things that they're learning. So you've got a wonderful way of doing peer-to-peer. We've got they, we've got we, we've got our. These are just fantastic. Now, I really do. I don't know why I've put them at 5 because they could almost be at number 1. But these two, I just use them all the time. They are so, so useful. And, you know, they can talk to the students, they can wave to the students, and it really helps them to understand the concept of I, you, he, she, we, and peer-to-peer work. You know, they can talk to each other, they can talk to me. They are great. So a pair of he and she dolls of any nature is really useful. So my number 4 top props, I would say, are these two babies. So I have my phonics and my alphabet cards. These are absolutely brilliant. I use flashcards quite a lot. I find them really useful. For instance, my little ones that I teach, you know, they're learning the alphabet, they're learning to identify the capitals and the small letters. They can look at the pictures to help that are on these flashcards. The other thing that is really useful with them is that we have got the phonic cards with, you know, they've been learning these sounds, for instance, the k-atas, so we can blend and they can practice and it can get harder and easier. And they are just really, really useful. So I have to say, number 4, my super duper flashcards, they are really useful. Now, you've also, what else was I going to say? No, number 3. So, this is something that the kids love. My star. So my star, which should go on top of a Christmas tree, is actually, I use all the time, just to, you know, as a reward, as a well done, but also because Wales English have stars embedded in their platform, and so, you know, we reward stars. So it just links really nicely to what the platform is doing. So my numbers, my number 3 is my star, and the girls love them. I wonder why. Very flashy. My number 2. So number 2, the whiteboard. Oh, the simple whiteboard. Now this one isn't magnetic. I've just decorated it with some stars that I bought in a pound shop. But you know, this is just fantastic because, for instance, you know, if you just buy a whiteboard and you don't want to buy flashcards, then you can use this, can't you? You can teach the capitals, you can teach the small letters, you can, you can do the words, the blends. These are just brilliant. You can play games on them. You can do a tic-tac-toe type thing. You can use the whiteboard for absolutely everything. And, you can buy magnetic whiteboards, but I haven't done that. I've just got a normal one. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll get a magnetic one at some point. But that's my number two. So that means we're coming to my favourite little baby, my lovely little prop, who you are now going to meet. My number one prop is my puppet, my little owl. So Owl has very much become part of my classroom. My students expect, or the younger ones, not so much the older ones, but the younger ones absolutely love him, and they expect to see him. They greet him, they wave. For the little ones, it's a great way of, again, a bit like the funny glasses. It distracts them. They can talk to an owl if they're feeling shy. If they don't want to say hello to you, you can say hello, it's Owl. Hello, Johnny. Hello, and they might connect with the puppet. So if you buy anything, buy a little puppet. Now you can probably see over here, I've got other ones. I have Monkey and Toucan. But I don't know, that Monkey goes down quite well, I have to say, but it just seems to be Owl as the one that works best, and also for me is very easy to use. So he is my number one prop. Anyway, so you can see from all my lovely props that I have so many props. They are fantastic. So get props that you work well with. Make sure that you know how to use them. Don't spend loads of money on them. Trawl around the Poundlands or the charity shops and see what you can pick up there. Probably these two babies here, my he and she. These ones were the most expensive I bought, but they're just so useful. I don't regret it at all. But really, when you start off, and if you're about to do your mock class, for instance, and you're thinking, oh, I need to get props, do something really simple. You can make your own. You can find things lying around the house, anything that will help bring to life vocabulary or a concept or something like that for students is great. So I hope that's been interesting and useful for you. Props are a fantastic thing. They're great fun to use. So my next video is going to be on TPR, total physical response. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it's been helpful. If so, please click the like button, please subscribe, and I will see you next week for my next video. Thank you so much and see you soon. Bye.